what is currently the top topic for the person you're talking to? What's on their mind? What is it that you're not picking up on, or maybe you have a slight hunch about, but you're not sure? Is that really the case? Or maybe you've picked up on something, but you can't quite place it, and now you want some clarity? And that's exactly what we're going to look at today. We're tapping into the current energy and asking, what is the main topic on your counterpart's mind right now, your special someone, your desired partner? And dear ones, we're working with the collective. The character cards are gender neutral, and this may not apply to everyone. Nor does the entire reading necessarily apply to you one-to-one, okay? So always adapt it to your own situation, please. And a very, very warm hello to all of you. A big heartfelt hug to you, and I am so grateful that you exist and for your wonderful warmth and kindness, for all that you give me, and also for every single piece of amazing feedback I received from you. I just read some again recently. Yes, we had a reading on Saturday at 1 p.m. That's right. So your feedback, it's just amazing. Thank you so much. And I'm also glad that you were able to take the tips and advice with you, and above all, that you immediately felt a response. I'm really, really happy about it. Even when I hear about it at one meeting or another, or when I read something like, watch the video and bump the person from your heart just writes to you. Or he got in touch that very evening. Whatever it is, no matter how or what, I just find it so wonderful. And I'm so happy for you all that things keep moving forward step by step. Even if they're just small steps, little baby steps, something is happening. And I also think it's wonderful when you say, no, I don't want him anymore, right? That he looks after you and always watches over you, no matter what situation you're in. And that's absolutely perfect, right? So my dears, then, and a very, very warm thank you and welcome to all the new channel members. Once a week, there's always a raffle for 1 or 2 30-minute phone readings. And of course, we also have the reading from the big deck for the coming week. So, my dears, sending you all a big hug, and I'd say, let's go. Let's take a look at what's going on with your counterpart. What's currently the main topic for him or her? Let's see. Oops. Now, all right. Okay. And a tendency all right, let's take a look and see. And yes, we have the 9 of Pentacles soups. We have the 9 of Pentacles. With the 9 of Pentacles, well, something surprising has happened to your counterpart. I have the surprise card here. The 9 of Pentacles says, yes, this is definitely about happiness. Your counterpart is currently in the process of grasping their happiness, of reclaiming it. And you can also see a fortunate turn here. 9 of Pentacles, a fortunate turn. Here's the surprise as well. This pleasing, unexpectedly positive development is within your counterpart. Something's happening here, right? Maybe he was ignorant towards you the whole time and didn't really know how or what, right? Maybe he was also on a completely different track, and you might have noticed somehow I don't know, maybe you don't really recognize yourself anymore. Something's not right with him. Something's not right. But here's a topic with your counterparts: a surprising positive development, a happy turn of events. There's a turning point here, with your counterpart. And as I said, something is really happening. But let's take a look. For now, we only have one card, so let's see. Okay, a happy turn of events fits perfectly here. We have death. Don't be alarmed. With death, it means the end of a phase. They're saying goodbye. Your counterpart is saying goodbye. There's an ending here. In this situation, your counterpart is currently in maybe the stagnation, fears now there's a transformation happening. So this phase is now over. No matter what it is, whether it's ghosting another person or just not being able to make a decision, there's a farewell here, a closure to this phase. definitely not. And here it means transition, a transformation, right? And here everything fits together perfectly again. So this reading could get interesting, definitely. So what else do we have? We have the Fool and the transformation, the end of a phase, the change that we see here. This fortunate turn is also visible here with your counterpart, that there is a new beginning, right? So a change, a new start. And it's also shown here that he may have behaved naively, right? Naive behavior, maybe reacted impulsively, knee-jerk reactions, a spontaneous breakup, like this, yeah. Maybe also took a risk, and that's coming to an end now. Your counterpart is actively and progressively freeing themselves from the burdens and constraints that have previously held them back, truly liberating their spirit and mind from those past limitations. And from this liberation, there is a profound and significant beginning, a completely fresh and invigorating new start that is unfolding before them. And your counterpart is gracefully and effortlessly moving into this wonderful state of lightheartedness, a feeling of being unburdened and joyful. This state can be described as uninhibited, basically to definitively and completely end this particular phase, this entire process that they have been navigating, right? To truly and unequivocally say a clear, final, and heartfelt goodbye to it, allowing themselves to move forward unencumbered. So yes, it really does seem to be getting incredibly interesting and captivating as these developments unfold. So let's see what else we can uncover and what further insights we get here in depth if we delve even deeper into all of this intricate situation. Okay. So let's take a moment to observe and see what precisely happens next as this journey continues to unfold. Wow. Okay. Now we have, wow, this is truly remarkable and significant. Wow. 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 Okay. So we already have a clear message here. Your counterpart is definitely closing something off here. And that has now, look, I'll just lay out a bit more here. So let's see what else we get here. Do you see that? Yes. Incredible. Honestly, I'm a bit blown away by this reading right now. You probably will be too in a moment once I tell you. So I see your counterpart here. There is a lot of restlessness. For some of you, I see another person here, and it's absolutely clear there couldn't be a clearer sign that a separation is indicated. Your counterpart is in this phase, and that's what's coming to an end. A relationship, a connection. So I would say maybe the relationship was neither here nor there, you know? With another person, whether male or female, something is coming to an end here and something has come to light. Here, dishonesty has come to light, as well as pushiness and deceit from another person, and your counterpart is breaking away, saying goodbye to it, and freeing themselves from it. This awakening, yes, this complete turnaround, and that's the closure, the ending that they're bringing about here. This phase, if he was in that phase where he maybe reacted hastily with a quick response, you know, where he got involved with someone else, or if you say now, no, there isn't anyone else, then it could also be just the thought of someone else or the influence of others. And this, where he was always so blocked, let himself be dominantly led, you know, basically let himself be controlled like a puppet and didn't realize the whole time what was really going on. This whole area is now being completely resolved. So it's over. I see more than just one ending here, ending, you know? So it's being completely resolved and your counterpart is currently in this process. This relationship is coming to an end. I also don't really see any stability here, you know? For some of you, it might be that this is about a relationship where, for example, financial matters still need to be settled, things like that, yes. But definitely, I see a complete cut here. It's overdone, finished, you know? But for the most part, I do see here that there was another person in your counterpart's life for a while. Definitely, I can use this word here now because this is a complete ending. So this process, this phase is either just beginning or already in the middle of it, you know? That's a major issue. Yes, because there's also a lot of mistrust here. There's no longer any foundation of trust between the two, or maybe there never was. And I see this person as very materialistic, very overbearing, and with this dominant attitude, this dominance, and basically they always kind of flattered him, stroked his ego, you know, made him feel good just to serve her or his own interest, right? From this person, as I said, whether male or female. And some untruths have come to light, have been brought to the table, and now your counterpart is pulling back because he says, so I see this awakening, this sudden awakening happening there. And with you, I see consistency. Something has been there for a while already, right? Because your counterpart is coming back into contact with their heart in your direction. And that's the main topic right now. Because here your counterpart is thinking about, is occupied with what activities are going on with you, right? What's really happening with you? And yes, the love is deepening again. So your counterpart is coming into love for you. That's what's happening here again. What's moving, something is happening on the heart level. He's freeing himself. He's letting go the blockages, you know. It's not like suddenly whoosh, everything's clear right away, you know. Instead, it's more like a slow awakening from your counterpart, this realization that this here was absolutely a mess, you know, absolutely crap. Maybe he even lied to you, or but I see a secret, you know, but this secret is also being kept, you know. So if your counterpart comes back to you, if you have conversations, you know, then it might be best not to go into it. If you weren't together anyway, just leave that in the past and focus on the new start, the new beginning, the change, you know. Like I said, if that's what you want, because I still see you still have a lot of feelings, and you've been very, very patient for a long time, and you still have this patience because you haven't given up on him or her yet. You haven't given up on your connection with each other yet. That's how I see you, but I also see you in this area of uncertainty. Is there something there? Is there nothing? Right? Is something else going to happen? But you feel the other person, you feel them so strongly, and there's you still have this hope, right? There's already a big part of you that says, there's actually no hope left, but there's still a small spark because I still see this deep connection between the two of you. The other person is wondering, what are you doing? What are you up to? Yeah, how are you? And that curiosity towards you is growing more and more to rekindle, to bring back that connection with you. And the other person really has that on their mind because now this, it might sound silly, you know, but this comparison, wow, what was that? What kind of mess have I made now? And they also sense that with you, you are the person they can truly arrive with. What they feel where they say, that's something completely different. So much warmth that you give. You offer honesty here, and you have a great deal of patience. I can already see that now. As I said, if there was a breakup between you, that you were once in a relationship, it's also the case that you still held on to it, right? But yes, this patience too, where you say, no, somehow I can't yet, you know? I can't completely give up yet because there's still something there. There's still something here that I can hold on to. It's not completely over yet. And I say, after this collective reading, definitely, yes, it's not over between you two. What's up there is over, definitely, right? So there's nothing left there either where your counterpart would say, okay, because I see him here being very strict, you know, this, wow, no one has any business interfering here anymore, right? Like a clear cut, kind of like whoosh, all right, you know, over the end, out of this withdrawal, especially out of the withdrawal on your part as well, because he also feels that there's more of this. He opens up and feels this longing towards you because he also senses that there's still something there. Maybe he even saw you somewhere in public, because I see the public aspect here as well, right? Or maybe it was another person who had the same figure or hairstyle. Somehow, you know, you have this resemblance just in passing and then whoosh, right? This, wow, that's when the heart starts beating, because is that you? Was it not you? What are you doing? Right? How are you? What do I have here? And memories keep coming up for the other person. Memories about you, and your counterpart feels more warmth. There's this coldness now, this block of ice that he or she might have been the whole time where you said, man, I don't even recognize this person anymore. Now you feel, and you can already sense it from the energy, that there's much more warmth coming back, that there's slowly a kind of access opening up again, right? this energetic moving toward each other, that's what you're feeling too. And your counterpart is now noticing it, not as intensely, not as clearly as you do. You have much more clarity about it. You are much more in touch with spirituality, but your counterpart is also slowly starting to wake up, to sense, to feel, to miss you even in your direction. And as I said, right now, this is definitely his or her main issue. As I mentioned, he knows that maybe he withdrew, right? And that he wasn't honest with you. And that's also the guilty conscience your counterpart has. And then there are his thoughts. If I approach her or him again, what will happen then? And your counterpart would even absolutely, definitely accept things now that maybe never would have happened before, right? That you then say, listen, this is how it's going to be, like this and like that. From now on, everything will be done according to my rules. I can see that softness in your counterpart too, because he says, you are his everything. And because I see a very strong, deep connection between you here, and above all, a committed relationship. But what I see in this reading is that your counterpart is clear. He definitely wants you. But with you, I see that you're still a bit on the fence, thinking, would I even take him or her back now? Because I see you here as a bit pensive, since in your thoughts, I also see this pressure. Oh my God, what if it falls apart again, or if he does that again? Everything that once was, right? There's a lot on your mind, a lot that's occupying your thoughts. And I see you here being a bit on guard, kind of in a defensive stance. But the love you still have for the other person, I also see that in the connection, in this, yes, the re-emergence of this bond between the two of you, this slow growth that for you two, the love is returning to that sense of familiarity. I mean, rebuilding a foundation of trust takes time. It takes a while to rebuild everything, right? But here I also see that through conversations, it's being rebuilt again. Above all, I see that the love between you two will fully blossom again. And especially that if you get back into a relationship, if that's what you want, I also see that you'll have this new beginning, this fresh start, and truly live out your love together. No one else has any business interfering here anymore. Your counterpart, as I said, that's their main issue, because there's a lot of unrest here, a lot of nervousness, a lot of excitement. And I also see this like communication, annoying communication between the two of them. So arguments, discussions, and this constant no and yes and back and forth, and always this closed off attitude. Because I also see that this person doesn't say everything, isn't open with the other person, you know? So they only say what they think the other person needs to know. Nothing more, right? Because I see them as quite stubborn here, you know? And your counterpart, as I said, is now really waking up to the fact that something isn't right here. Somehow things are going completely wrong here. And that's also your counterpart, this kind of stress factor, you know? Because everything here goes according to her or his rules, this person. And your counterpart says, no, that's totally, you know, it stresses him out. Now your counterpart is really starting to wake up to the fact that this is an absolute stress factor and that something isn't right here. And that's when he completely detaches himself. So as I said, I definitely see the separation here. All right, let's take a look at what other tendencies we can see here. Wow, how beautiful. So for one, we have the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is wonderful, because with the Four of Wands, it shows that this openness is being displayed again, open towards you, that your counterpart, your beloved, your desired partner, the person who means so much to you is still in your heart, that he's showing openness towards you here, speaks openly with you, and that you can also feel a change here if you want, that there is more clarity in your conversations. And above all, I see a connection between the two of you, security. Your counterpart wants to give you the security that you have always wished for. But somehow I always felt that for you, it was kind of superficial. It wasn't really stable for you. Somehow it kept wavering, and you did everything possible to keep it stable. You did everything. You were completely there for your counterpart. You always had hope and this sense of security, this confidence, this harmony. That's how I see you here. But in the connection you may have had with each other, whether it was a relationship or just a getting to know each other phase, right? Or even if it was just a friendship, there was always something, it always kind of tipped over, you know? because something was always not quite right. It was kind of shaky in the whole thing, you know? But now I see this unity that you can create. And there's a lot of closeness being shown here. Your counterpart also wants to give you much more closeness and wants to move more into this togetherness with you, to do things together. Your counterpart feels that being alone, or, you know, that it was neither here nor there. It was just somehow, I don't know, like being in the wrong movie, you know? Here, it's like being from another planet maybe, or I don't know, or in some kind of dream world. And now there's this waking up from that dream world. As I said, shared activities are being shown, and it could also be that your counterpart just spontaneously invites you to do something together, you know? But in any case, what's being shown here again is the transition into the connection between the two of you. So if we now add the Two of Cups, we have feelings involved as well. And here, your counterpart is also in the process of overcoming all conflicts, including the conflict with you. Because the connection between you two is being shown, and he feels this connection is getting more and more into his feelings, this connection with you. There is a very, very strong attraction towards you, and he can't let go of you, just as you can't let go of him. A reconciliation is also being shown. Your counterpart wants to reconcile with you, and that is also a very strong desire, because he knows you make him happy. He wants to experience things together with you, do activities, have this being together. And here it also says that your counterpart wants to approach you, and he also wishes for this mutual coming together. And I see loving encounters here. And as I said, love is a very, very big theme. Here the doubts are being put to an end, and the connection between the two of you wants to be restored. Wow. My dears, I wish this for you with all my heart. And I think it's so wonderful, as I said, that everyone always looks after themselves and that you alone make your own decisions. And I wish you a wonderful rest of the day. All the very best to you. Goodbye.